You've heard everybody talk about Sidney Crosby was determined to answer the call for Canada in this Four Nations event. Scott Niedermayer was a huge influence on him when he suited up for Canada in the 2010 Olympics. Now he is the influence on everyone wearing the red and white. As Nathan MacKinnon said yesterday, he's basically just playing with all of his fans here. The Olays are underway already at the Bell Center. We'll let you take them to Michel Lacroix on the PA and the starting lineups.
Incredible atmosphere here. You could tell the intensity's been building the last 48 hours that these players have been here, and this is what everyone's been waiting for. Drop the puck, let's get this thing going.
Four of hockey's leading nations, the first of 7 games to decide the best of the best. And Nathan MacKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Mark Stone out to start for Team Canada against Mika Zibanejad, Ricard Raquel, and William Nylander. Away we go. To the captain with under a minute to go. Here's Hedman. Dahlin threw it in front through traffic, and Reinhardt will come up with that.
Boy, those are two close calls there. The Hedman shot through traffic just off the pad, and then that one with 3 bodies in front of Binnington as well.
Makar fires it in. Back out comes Point, along with Cirelli and Hagel. Looking for lightning in a bottle here. Parayko's shot hit traffic in front. I think that hit Hagel, and Taves has to scramble back. Cirelli with a change going on, and nearly 2 men for Sweden. Braden Point trying to come off the boards for MacKinnon. Back in front, cut off by Ekholm. Trying to spring Zibanejad, and Taves was there. Parayko ahead. Point checked, but here comes MacKinnon, following up. In behind the net, taken away by Ekholm. Back for Makar.
Any thoughts on last night's game?
No. Don't speak to me in the morning. I can't do that. Speak to Brett. Brett.
Did you see Marner in the game at all before he scored the winning goal in the overtime?
Not a lot, no. But I'm glad Marner scored it.
Yeah? Oh yeah, because he's a Maple Leaf.
Yeah, well, mainly because everyone hates him. I'll be up for Marner having a good tournament.
Did anybody impress you from the Swedish team?
Well, I love Brett, Raymond. Nylander was alright.
What about Carlson?
Carlson, alright, he's in my fantasy team. I'm not too happy with him. Here's someone who wants to speak to you. What do you think?
Brett, any thoughts on last night's game?
Yeah, it was good, but all the fans were talking about this one today.
That's true.
Pumpkins v the Fire Brigade.
A hat-trick coming up?
Yes, mate. Yeah. Blow the cobwebs away nice and early. They actually look like our age group.
Yeah.
It's the first team that we're playing against where they're not 20 years younger. So
yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yes, hopefully.
Bonjour.
Good morning.
How are you today?
You know, it's early, it's good. I'm glad you're here. Hey, everyone has managed to turn up, so we have 2 lines. This is absolutely perfect.
Good morning.
Good morning, old boy.
How are you?
I'm good.
Any thoughts on last night's game? Who made the biggest impression?
Who made the biggest impression?
Yeah, Paul.
MacKinnon.
Paulie wouldn't shut up.
For me, MacKinnon.
What about Paul?
Don't know his name, but the Swedish goalie.
Gustafsson.
Gustafsson. No, he was playing very, very fucking well in the last 2 periods. It was
To be honest with you, Crosby as well. Like he assisted 2 goals. Didn't he?
3.
Yeah.
I think he was hard done by at the end. Getting the cheer, someone else scores and he gets all the cheers. I think he was probably sitting at the back loving that.
Yeah. Marner, I mean,
Poor fella.
I didn't see him in the whole game before he scored the overtime goal.
I didn't see Reinhardt.
Yeah.
There was loads of people who you think would just be dominant. I didn't see much of MacKinnon either, to be honest.
No, I thought that after the first power play, he kind of on the overtime because he's so good at skating.
Yeah.
For me,
But,
McDavid, I thought we were going to
McDavid,
see...
every time he gets the puck, he's just like...
Only in the first period. After the first period, he was like...
He didn't get
went
so
to
much of
sleep.
the puck, though,
He just
did
went
he?
to sleep, it saw. He wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's so...
But yeah, I love Brett. The way Brett skates.
Yeah, very good. And I thought Forsberg looked huge.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realise
He
he
looked
was that
super
big.
mean.
Yeah. Edmund was pretty solid.
Yeah, Hedman's really good.
I was looking more at the Sweden team than the points assessed was.
How are you today, Matt?
Oh, it's early, my friend. It is early.
Who is the most impressive in last night's game?
I mean, you got to give props to the Swedish tender, huh? Kept him in it. Definitely kept him in it. But that was a fun one. Hoping for a big finish win today, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Got the boys, boys in blue.
It's going to be quite tough.
It's going to be a good game. Excited.
Yeah. Do you think the crowd will be on Finnish side?
100%. There's going to be nearly no Finns there, but it's going to be a massively pro-Finnish crowd.
Yeah, and it's going to be funny because it's going to be like a negative. They're just going to be boo in the US.
Yeah, super hate for the US. Fair. And massive pro-Finnish crowd.
It was
it'll
the
be
same
fun.
in the under-20s in Ottawa a couple of months ago.
You're always going to pull for the underdog, right? And then on top of that, it's the US team in Montreal. It's anybody but the US.
Yeah, exactly. How are the two Nikitas this morning?
It's good. Better now than 1 hour ago.
Any thoughts on last night's game?
The Sweden one.
Yeah.
Sweden Canada. Yeah, amazing game actually. Because we got to see everybody, like all the best players from Canada. Obviously legends, but
who do you think was the most impressive?
Gotta say Crosby. Yeah. I was cheering for Sweden, but
yeah, me too.
I still gotta appreciate, Canada because legends.
It was very nice that I went to overtime.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, Sweden was closer to win.
Yeah. In overtime, they had a chance.
Yeah.
The Binnington took the only good save of the game for him in the overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
What did you think about yesterday's game?
It was a great experience. I liked the whole game. Some of the fans were also very, very fun to look at after 10 years. So yeah, it was fun.
The third Slashing Pumpkins game of the trip was against a team of firemen from the Montreal Fire Brigade. Both teams had to plow through a snowstorm on the way to the rink, but on top of that, the firemen were coming directly from a 24-hour shift. Early in the first period, the Fire Brigade intercept a Pumpkins pass in the neutral zone, but Nikita is awake and makes an easy save to keep the game at 0-0.
And then Brett Candon came with his family as well.
Yeah, Brett came with his wife and his son. Brett's a character. I've actually known Brett, I think, in passing for probably 20-something years. We've sort of we passed each other as I left the UK. He'd entered the club, but we played against each other. He's a bit younger. Definitely a character. He's a very strong character. He knows what he wants and it's what he wants to do, and doesn't always, go with the way that the rest of us want to do stuff. But he's also at the same time he's quite easygoing, so he's quite relaxed. He's a typical beer league retiree in the sense that he's played at a high level and he wants to keep playing at that level. And we all need to realize sometimes we're here for fun now. And once he gets into that mode, he's on fire and super easy to deal with in the sense that when we put Canada down, he's like, "Can I bring my wife?" I'm like, "Of course you can." "Can I bring my son?" "Yeah, of course you can." And they were lovely. They came to all of the games. His son was our mascot on almost every game, so he really enjoyed himself, which for me was important. It wasn't just, I knew the players were going to have fun. You go to Canada with a hockey team, you watch NHL games, and you play hockey. I mean, it doesn't matter what else happens on the trip, you're going to come back going, "Oh my God." But for me, when some of the wives came, and then he brought his kids, and Igor and Nikita's brothers and sisters, it was just as important that they had a good time. Because when we go again, people will bring their wives, they will bring their kids, because they'll realize this isn't a boys' trip where we're just going to go and get drunk and play hockey and not wake up in the morning. It was a complete experience. So that was really, really good of Brett to bring them, and they loved it. So they had an amazing time.
We start with saying your name, where you're from, and how old you are.
Brett Candon from the UK, age 45.
Where do you live in the UK?
Place called Wokingham in Berkshire, just outside London.
How old were you when you started playing hockey?
8.
And what made you start?
Mum's side of the family were football players, dad's side were boxers. They opened the first Olympic ice arena in my hometown that I grew up in, which was a place called Bracknell. We went down to watch the first game with my dad, 4,000 fans. Some big hits, some lovely plays, some speed, some superstars, a couple of fights. And yeah, Dad said, look, if you're not allowed to box, you want to do this? I was like, yeah, for sure. Never look back.
How was your junior team?
Yeah, we won everything at juniors, like everything. Bracknell Bumblebees. We actually came to Montreal and played in the tournament out here in 1991. We didn't win that tournament. We got knocked out at semis, but yeah, we won all the nationals. Then moved to Swindon for part of my junior career. Had a decent career there. Was part of the England and GB setups. And then adult hockey hit. So I started playing adult hockey when I was 16. Had a daughter when I was 19. There's not much money in the UK playing hockey. So focus more on my career and kind of, yeah, still involved in a game that I love now.
And how did you join the Pumpkins?
So hockey world is a small world. Lots of people know everyone. You're never far removed. So I actually played against Paul in adults when he was at Haringey and I was at Bracknell. And then I ended up joining Haringey when Paul had moved to Spain. And a couple of the players from Haringey are Pumpkins, and yeah, made the intro to Paul. And yeah, here I am. This is only my second tournament, but played a couple of games when they've been over in the UK. Actually, I hadn't played full ice hockey for 15 years. So we've got a vets team that I run at home in a 3-on-3 beer league called the Chiefs. Good fun, all boys I've played with since we were like 8 years old. But yeah, it's 3-on-3 and we play maybe 8 to 10 games a year. But got the invite, played my first full ice game a year ago in November in Streatham. Sweating, really tough. But yeah, I wanted to get back into it just while I can. Legs are, whole body's hurting, but he's got a few years left. So yeah, so it's Pumpkins that got me back into full ice hockey.
How did you decide to join the trip here in Montreal?
So it's a special one for me. So it's a trip that my wife and my boy, we've been talking about planning for a long while. So Montreal was the first time I came to Canada. It was the first NHL team that I saw. And then Paul put out on the Pumpkins, we're going to Montreal. So I was like, I think I booked the flight immediately, sent him the details, booked my hotel. I was like, look, you know, lucky enough to bring my boy and my wife and experience all the things that I experienced at like similar age to him. So outdoor skating, it's the first time he's done that. First NHL game, he's got to see all his superstars at the Four Nations. He's a Penguins fan, so seeing Crosby and Carlson playing was a big thing for him. Yeah, it's just been fantastic experience around.
Who were your biggest idols when you were growing up?
Stevie Yzerman was my favourite player. And then obviously Gretzky, Lemieux, Fedorov, all of the supers, and then all the way through to today. So for me, it's difficult to divide them. They're all great in their own way. So yeah.
Do you still watch hockey in UK?
Not so much. So that's how unfit I am. I'm sweating after changing. My hometown that I grew up playing in, Bracknell, they closed the arena down during COVID. So it was a big part of the community lost. That team has moved to another ice arena, but it's not the same. They play out Slough, so I'll go and watch them play every now and again. But when I retired, I went to watch them religiously every weekend. Yeah, not as much. The timing's difficult. It's not the easiest to get hold of in the UK, but yeah, we try and watch it when we can. We watch the highlights. I like watching it with my boy. For his hockey IQ and seeing how other defenders in the NHL play and move and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
What do viewers know about this?
It's a fantastic bunch of lads. It's a different team every time we play. So roster, I think, over 100 players now from all different countries. It's one of the things that's great about hockey. All different countries, all different backgrounds. Different cultures, different age groups, and we all come together and everybody gets on. Like, yeah, it's quite special.
Do you already know where you're going in the next tournament?
Yeah, I'll be in Spain next month, and hoping to do quite a few more. So I need to balance them with son's hockey camp and also trying to get some family vacation in for my wife as well. So it's just not just hockey.
Okay, the final question then. Now there might be some old NHL players.
Yes.
How does that feel to go on?
Yeah, fantastic. Like I say, look, hockey players are just hockey players, like regardless of where they come from. For us, it's a privilege to go out and play with them, but for them, they'll just be enjoying playing, and I'm sure it will just be a mutual respect as a hockey player. So, very exciting experience for sure. Like this whole trip's been, to be quite honest. All right, cheers, man.
Like so many times before, Nikita makes a solid save at one end, and the Pumpkins jump on the counter-attack. Sam collects the rebound in front of the Pumpkins net and passes to Maestro, who skates over the attacking blue line and finds Theo in the middle. Theo plays a quick 1-2 with Dennis and has an empty net to score one of the highlight goals of the whole trip.
Most of our players have played, as I said before, they've played at a decent level at some point. And when you're playing for a team, although it's fun, it's also not fun because it can be a job. Whether you're being paid or not, it's still you're there for the team. When the guys come away with us, I mean, the whole joke is, as long as we don't come dead last, we don't really care, because at the end of the day, the beer's still cold. You win, it's cold. You lose, it's cold. So the guys really appreciate that. I mean, that's a sort of a mental health aspect. They can get away from their day-to-day life, go have some fun with a group of guys who have no expectations. You know, we're all competitive because we're competitive. You know, it's just the nature of the game. But that competitive turns off the minute we've won or we've lost. No one, you'll have a bit, oh shit, we could have done this, we could have done that, but then it's done. I mean, you're on to the next game. When's the next tournament? You know, it really doesn't matter. That has breathed life into a lot of our players, because they've realized what it's like to play hockey for fun again, especially the guys that have played at a very, very high level. And they love the fact that they can get off and have a beer. There's another game in an hour, but they can still have a beer. You know, as long as they're not drunk, there's no problem. And that's been probably the most amazing thing for all of us as a group, knowing that no one's going to judge you. People will have a go at you on the bench like they do in any team, but the minute it's done, it's done. We just, there are no grudges. There are no, you have to skate harder next weekend because you fucked up. The coach is going to run your ass off. No, none of that. We'll see you in a couple of months at the next tournament, and we'll try and do better, or we'll try not to do worse.
The previous day's 24-hour shift started to weigh down the Fire Brigade, but their goalie kept the numbers civilized. After 3 games, the Slashing Pumpkins' record in Montreal is 1 win, 1 draw and 1 loss. Next, Pumpkins headed back to the Bell Center to watch Finland versus USA in the Four Nations face-off.
Accueillons les États-Unis.
about the USA team watching that game and realizing the level and the pace that it was played at, especially that first period. I think that brings some pressure and responsibility. That bar was raised pretty high. We'll see if these two teams can match it here to start game number 2.
For USA, entraîneur-chef, head coach, Mike Sullivan. Le numéro 86, number 86, Jack Hughes. Le numéro 34, number 34, Austin Matthews. Le numéro 62, number 62, Anthony.
He's a Canadian. Yeah, he played for the Canadians.
Le numéro 16, number 16, Alexander Barkov. Le numéro 96, number 96, Mikko Rantanen. Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez maintenant retirer les chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation des citations. Fans, please now rise. Remove your hats and caps for the singing of the national anthems.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the hope of the
Finland took an early lead, but USA scored 6 unanswered goals to win 6-1.